There he is, Lieutenant, Lieutenant Mr. Lieutenant Mr. Bird, Phoebe Hoffman's, Albert Hoffman cousin, born in Switzerland, 1908. Parrot. She may have bought in Africa while she was visiting. He's about 30 something. He's pulling out his feathers. He's dressing in his war paint like he was taught to by her late husband, probably her third or fourth husband. She married him for his money, Frederick. I'm not of any relation, neither is any of my family. She married him late in her life for his money. He taught my parrot to be a chicken ref in the chicken fighting rings of Mexico. Now, the chickens would go at it, and then he'd throw the parrot in between two chickens after one of the chickens died so he could kill the other chicken and be king of the ring for as many fights as possible. He's in a new place. He's been in a new place for 60 months, and he's still dressing his war paint as he was before, or when he got word that he was going to either a home to be adopted, where he'd be in a pound for 2 weeks, and if he didn't get picked up, he'd be put down through euthanasia. Well, Paris lived to be 70 or 100, and he's only 30 or 35. So I took him in because I lived in the same house with him for 11 years, but he's relapsed into abusing his owner through incessance, through aggression, through violence, through Tourette's, and through self-harm, so that he can kill the most chicken and be honored in Mexico for the chicken killing, or New York City, or wherever the chicken rings were that some 85-year-old guy that my great-grandmother married for his money and divorced and won, either through longevity or divorce. We try not to remember that. So this parrot was severely abused around the age of 5. He had his toes snipped off, he was picked up and thrown out the window, so he'd either learn to fly or he'd fall. After being spun around in circles by his tail, not his tail feathers or anything. No, he was severely abused. And he was probably fed some LSD-25 too on top of it. I was being nice. Really? I was being nice earlier when I said, he's a pirate. It's a pirate's life for him. He lived with a good family for 10 years. It was my great grandmother Phoebe and all the riches in the world. So he'd be tended to. Oh no, that's a joke. He's not actually sick. He's been out of his house plenty of time. He's just a violent, aggressive, abusive. From time to time, from his first 10 years. His second 10 years, he lived a life with Phoebe, that's right, a life of lavish riches with a multi-millionaire Manhattan worker who spent her life savings between the ages of 70 and 100 instead of passing it on to the family because she was greedy and related to the inventor of the LSD-25 synthesizer, Albert Hoffman. Now I don't know what kind of Swiss bank account is waiting for me when he passes away after I do my best taking care of him. Or her Bible gets sold from whatever expensive, New York City something or other, over 100 years old. Or her stereo gets broken. But those are the three things I got instead of a Swiss bank account, when she passed away when I was only 18. I think she thought I was too young to have whatever kind of riches, and she wanted me to learn a bit through raising this parrot. Keeping on to a good book and enjoying 1990s, 10 grand stereo, or $5,000 stereo, however much the most expensive piece of electricity was with back then. So I've had it up to here with him, and I'm putting on another PSA. He